Antonio Giovinazzi, 23, Italian, runner-up GP2 2016. It's cold.
I know, thanks. So Antonio, I imagine the last 2 weeks have been a bit of a blur for you since that phone call in Australia on Saturday.
Yeah, it was, I think, a nice alarm. I need to say thanks to Sauber and Scuderia Ferrari for this opportunity. It was special for me.
Did that phone call come from Sauber or from Ferrari?
From Ferrari, to race in F1 and do a race weekend in F1. It was everything really fast, but I really enjoyed.
I guess there were points last season where you probably didn't think this would ever happen, weren't there?
Not, to be honest. Last year I started my first year in GP2 and I was a rookie, so I didn't expect to have the result I had, but in the end it was a fantastic year. With Prema as well, it was a rookie team, so it was fantastic, until the last race. We went leading the championship, but then lost in the last race. But in the end, I was really happy with my year, and then in December the call from Ferrari, so it was a special year for me.
How do you look back on that weekend in Australia? You must be pretty pleased with your performance right across the weekend.
Yeah, it was, I think, a good performance. Start from Saturday morning, have only 1 hour of preparatory, and then jump straight to the quali. And I was only 2/10 from Marcus. So I think quali was really happy, and then the race, the target was to finish the race, do a lot of miles, and to don't mistake. And this is what I did. I was finished P12. Also was a good position, just 2 positions from points. But yeah, overall I think I was really happy with the weekend, with the result and with the performance we had.
And that mistake has sadly cost the Italian a chance for one of these shock stories of the season so far.
But for the little mistake at the end, you could have been in Q2, you could have out-qualified your teammate. Do you learn from that? Do you take that into this weekend's qualifying?
Yeah, of course, but to be honest, in quali I had only 3 sets of ultra soft. The third lap was just to be more in the limit. The problem was too much in the limit, and I had a small mistake in the second last corner. But like you say, I think I learned from that error, and I will do better the next time.
But it's not been a straightforward road for you to get into Formula One, has it?
No, it was really hard. In Italy the situation was not fantastic, but then after karting 2012 I had lucky to meet Riccardo Gelaer, who support me from since Formula Hub to GP2. So I was really lucky, to be honest. And after that, yeah, last year with my manager as well, with Enrico Zanarini, we find the position where I am now in Ferrari. So yeah, everything went well, and but I'm really happy for what I achieved, because we did a lot work behind with my family and also from my side. But yeah, now to be here is, like I said before, is a dream come true. Since I was 3 years old when I started with karting, this was my dream, and now to be here is fantastic.
Well, as we sit here, the rain's starting to fall, so you could have anything thrown at you this weekend. You ready for it?
Yeah, I have less stress, and I have more time now to organize all my race weekend. So yeah, I think look also like the weather will be a little bit wet, but we'll see.
Well, we want to wish you the very best of luck this weekend. It was a great performance last time out. Look forward to seeing you back on the track.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
And Manisha Colton-Bourne joins us now. Manisha, before we come on to Antonio, how is Pascal?
He's doing all right. I spoke to him yesterday, and he's fully focused on his training, and we're all working to our target that he's back in Bahrain.
Do you think that's achievable? Do you think that will happen?
I think it is, but we have to be careful and not enter into any speculations here. We will make that call together with Mercedes at the beginning of the week.
And what about the situation you've got? It almost seems as if you've got a bit of a conflict, because you have one guy who's from Mercedes, you've got a Ferrari in the back, and you've got the man from Ferrari. It seems almost to us, and even to the world out in the Twitter world, that it seems to be you've been pressured from Ferrari to take on Giovinazzi for the rest of the season?
No, not at all. When we all were in Australia, nobody anticipated that this could happen, because there was no indication for it. And I have to say, Ferrari and we did have an agreement, because we do want to have a third driver, if you have situations like this. They were very quick about it and they flew him in immediately. There's really no pressure, and it's very clear to everyone that Pascal is our second driver and we want him back as soon as possible.
But it does suit Ferrari, Manisha, and you can understand why these questions have been out there. I mean, you were fairly defensive in Australia on the subject, and I can understand that too. But you know, you've got a young Italian in there. It kind of does fit, doesn't it?
Well, so does a young German. I mean, I don't see where the difference is actually, and we speak German in the team too, so.
So what is the actual situation with Pascal? What is his issue?
Well, what happened with Pascal, you know, he had this accident in Miami, and there he suffered a very strong compression on the back. And, you know, reports that it's maybe his neck vertebrae are simply not correct, because he actually himself in Barcelona at the second test clarified this and said, I think in medical terms you call it the thoracic vertebra, so it's the next part after the neck, which got injured, and the injuries he had there were so-called microfractures, which are very normal as a result of this kind of a compression. And he was then under the supervision of the people who are responsible at the Mercedes Junior program. Their doctors checked him, they released him, he was absolutely fine to race. His fitness is not there because he had to follow very strict instructions what he should train and what not. And that just, you know, took its toll on him. So he's preparing that, and he should be back soon.
I'm sure Pascal, desperate to get back into the car, but Giovinazzi has taken his chance, hasn't he? How impressed were you by his performance in Australia? It was
I was very impressed by that, because, you know, imagine you really don't know the car. You come in on a Saturday morning, you have one FP3 session, a qualifying a race, and the target was you should just hang in there. You never know what happens, and he actually fulfilled that 100%. So it was, from that perspective, an ideal situation for us. Of course, he couldn't race yesterday or drive the car yesterday. Maybe we thought he's anyway used to that with us or something like that, but I hope he still does something good today.
Is there any change? Is there any chance of any change that you might actually go, we're going to go and put our allegiances somewhere else as a driver? You might say, okay, Pascal,
No.
unfortunately, no?
No. Pascal's our driver, and we really want him back quickly.
What's achievable here this weekend then, Manisha?
Come again?
What's achievable this weekend for the team?
Difficult to say, because obviously, like other teams, no one could really gather the data here. There's also quite a lot of unknown quantities on the tyres if it's going to be a wet race. It's a chance for us. Maybe we can afford to take a risk over here. No, to get points from your own strength is not possible at the moment. We're working on our development plan, but again, it's to be there, hang in there and see what happens.
Thanks, Manisha. Go well this weekend. Appreciate your time, we really do. The sun is shining here